Whether you're a filmmaker, a photographer, a content creator, you know how powerful good lighting is when it comes to your work. It's everything, honestly. It wasn't until I started to really understand lighting and invest in good lighting where I really started to see a big improvement in my work. And that's why I'm excited for today's non-sponsored review. Today we have two Pro Studio lights by GVM, or Great Video Maker. They sent me their 300B and their most powerful light, their 650B. B means bicolor, by the way. And to be completely honest with you, I don't hear about GVM, nor do I really see their products on set, like at all. In my personal experience, it's pretty foreign to me. But that's why after using these lights on a couple of real world shoots of mine, I am that much more intrigued and impressed by GVM, because I really feel like with these products, they're taking a really bold step into the lighting market for filmmakers and content creators like you and me. In this review, I'm going to show you 4 different lighting scenarios where I actually use them and how it turned out. Beyond these 2 lights, GVM did send me a bonus third product, which I will get to later in the video. So stay tuned. At the end of the video, I'll talk about that. But now let's get into it. All right, so let's talk about the design and functionality of these lights. So all of their Pro Studio lights are bicolor. They all have app control, which is really good. And they all have 12 built-in effects where you can do like TV or strobe or explosion, whatever. They have those effects. If you need them, great. If you don't worry about it. They're there for you. Right out the case, they give you a very like pro product feeling. They don't seem cheap, they don't feel cheap, they feel really well built. What's also nice about their Pro lineup is that all of their lights have fan control. So when you're recording audio like this, you don't have a raging fan that you are struggling to get rid of in post, but you can turn that fan all the way down to a silent mode and not have to worry about it when you're recording audio. The app is great. It was easy to connect both lights the first time I turned it on. I can control my color temperature, all the built-in effects like I mentioned, but I don't see an option to control the fan, which would be nice, instead of having to get up and do that manually. Maybe I'm not finding it. Hopefully they have a firmware update for that, but that's just one thing that I wish that the app could do. So they have a wide range of lights with different output from 200 all the way to 650. Everything before 400 has built-in controls on the physical light, which is nice, and I like the screen. So it's also pretty simple to use, and I appreciate easy interfaces and easy controls. And then meanwhile, everything above 400 comes with a control box. And the control box comes with a mount that you can put on a C-stand, and you can do all your settings and adjustments from there. The control box was also very easy to understand and figure out the first time I touched it. But then again, whether you have the control box or not, you can control everything from the app. All right, now let's get into the 4 different lighting setups where I recently used these lights on set. So the first is for studio work. So for this shoot, I was going for a editorial look, which is always just something super clean and crisp from the outfit, the colors, the backdrop, and the lighting. And having a really nice soft light source brings that look home to me. And basically all I did was boom the 650B up with the modifier about a 45-degree angle, and then I shot it down on our model Nadine, and just like that you have a very clean, very soft lighting setup, which I love using. It's so easy to do, anybody can do it, and I find use out of a continuous light like this for both photography and video. To enhance the shot just a little, I brought the 300B with the cover on it, and I shot it right behind Nadine, so she had a hair light, and I brought a little more depth to the scene. This is a very simple 2-light setup, and it looks great. The next setup is filmmaking. Just last week, I was a cinematographer on a short film, and we had a outdoor scene where we needed to emulate sunlight, and we used the 650B to create that look. This is a very good example on why having a bicolor light is very handy to have, as we were able to really emulate that warm sunset glow with the modifier, of course. Now this film is not out, but I will show you frames so you can kind of see the effect that the light gave. So for our third setup, I'm going to show you how I would use lights like these for another shoot that was outdoors. So this was another sunset scene where we were working with a basketball player, shooting, dunking, running around, and we Actually, we're running kind of late, so we really needed a light like the 650B to give us a little more flexibility and time before the sun was completely gone. So what's super clutch about the control box of the 650B is that you can power it with V-mounts. We had 2 on both sides of the control box, and we were able to have a portable soft source. So a kind of funky thing we realized is that with the control box, all of the cables go in the bottom, which means that if you want to raise the stand pretty high, you have to turn the box upside down, which is, you know, no big deal. It's a simple solution. And again, you can just control everything through the app. And again, we use this powerful light source to emulate sunlight. This would be a more cinematic or true to life type setup, which we eventually broke, and we moved to photography where we had more dramatic lighting, where we just boomed the light from above, shot it down, and got some really fun portraits of our model Herm. And the last setup is for content creation, like this shot right now. I'm literally using the 350B right now with a modifier on it to film my talking head portion of this YouTube video. So this setup is very simple to use for, again, a YouTube video like this, content creation, or interviews. So my next point isn't really about the light themselves, but more so specifically the case of the 650B. This is a big light, so a big light is gonna come with a big case. And honestly, this case is a pain to carry around. I really wish that I had wheels and a handle like I've seen Nanlite do, I've seen Aperture do. I've seen those lights in person. I've had friends that have brought those lights on set, and being able to just roll those in is just so much easier. Thankfully, I just carry all of my equipment in a rock and roller cart, but I do still wish this thing had wheels. So let's talk about the price of the lights that they sent me. So the 300B is $389, which is cheaper than other lights that they are competing with. And the 650B is $999, which is also cheaper than its competitors. So final thoughts, these lights are really good. They do what I need them to do. They are built really well, and I really think they're worth the price. Again, they're a little more affordable than some of the other competitors on the market right now. I think they are a really good option for beginner to pro. And again, they have a wide range for you to select from, so you may not need the big boy 650, you may be just fine with a 300 or even a 200 or even, you know, whatever else. If you don't own any lights and you're thinking about your first light, I will say that a lot of lights these days do come with app control. So once you commit to one brand, you're gonna have all of those lights compatible with that one app. I have Aperture, I have Nanlite, and now I've been using GVM. So I literally have like 3 apps that I'm bouncing back and forth to control all of my lights. And if that doesn't bother you, then don't worry about it. But it's kind of like buying an Apple computer. You just are with that ecosystem, with that type of light when it comes to app control. All right, now for the third product that GVM sent me to review. This is their wireless microphone system. And yes, all of the audio that you're hearing right now was recorded using this system. It comes with a transmitter that connects to the mics, and you can easily view your levels from it too. These are handy because you can connect these straight to your camera to record audio directly onto your file, so you don't have to worry about any syncing in post-production. Or you can just hit the record button on the mic and you can record internally. And I'm actually recording internally right now for this voiceover. I personally prefer using audio from a boom mic, but having a couple lavs like these are always really handy to have, especially because they're so small and compact and easy to use. What I really like about this setup is that the case itself can be charged to charge your mics and your transmitter. The moment I put them away, if the case is charged, I'm bringing them back to 100%. I'm not going to get too deep into these mics, but I definitely wanted to shout them out since GVM sent them to me to review. They run about $170, which isn't too bad because some systems come with 2 mics just like these do, but you don't get the case, and they're even more expensive than this. So I think they're definitely worth checking out. Well, thank you so much for watching this review. I really hope that you learned something and realized if these lights were for you or if they weren't. And if you want to see more of my work, you can check out my Instagram where I post more behind the scenes and process videos and of course the work that I love to create. Thanks again. Till next time.